All right, now guys, welcome to 5 Ways to Increase Your Instagram Followers. I am your facilitator, Lakeisha Singletary. So welcome to 5 Ways to Increase Your Instagram Followers. And so as we go through this, for those of you who's in the room, feel free to ask questions, because even though we are putting this on the platform, a lot of times some people have the same exact questions, so you'll be helping other people as well.
Awesome.
Okay, awesome. So we all know at least one or two people who have a lot of followers on Instagram, right?
Yes.
And what I always tell people is just because they have a lot of followers doesn't mean they're monetizing it. So what I'm going to go over today is not really how to monetize Instagram, but how to at least set up your strategy so you can move forward to monetizing. So one way that you can increase your Instagram followers is just knowing the Instagram algorithm. If you don't know the algorithm, then you're just really just posting blindly, is what I like to call it, posting blindly. So knowing the Instagram algorithm, because they have a new algorithm they rolled out with since Facebook purchased them, this is extremely important. Creating a picture perfect post. So after you understand the algorithm and how it works, now we're going to go and I'm going to show you guys and actually give you some actual apps to download so you can create a picture perfect post. Because a lot of us, we don't have a photographer, right? Just following us around. I wish I did, but we don't have them following us around, so we have to create our own post. So these apps will actually get you started in the right direction. And we're going to go over creating a strong hashtag game. So knowing that Instagram algorithm, you create your perfect post, how are you going to connect people? How are you going to get people to notice you? And that is by creating hashtags. And then we'll go into getting on the IG Explore page. And this Explore page is basically the search area. So when you're on the search page, believe me, a lot of people, more than you know, actually search on Instagram. I'm one of those people. Do any of you guys use the search tool on Instagram? Well, I'm one of those people. A lot of the millennials, we do search. And so being on the IG Explore page, it actually gets more views, more eyes on your particular image or profile. Then we're going to talk about running a contest. Because the thing is, after all four of these things are done, you want to actually run a contest. And what would happen is, for example, with the gentleman Legs for Life, so he already has like a lot of followers, 14,300. So if he runs a contest and say, oh, he's going to give somebody like a 2-night stay, just an example, hotel in New York or something like that, but they have to share it. So his followers are already engaging with him. He already has about at least 10% of people engaging, and that's actually huge. The minimum you will see is about 6%, which is good, but 10% is actually really good. So if he runs a contest right now, what is going to happen is other people will be like, oh, follow legs underscore, what is it, legs underscore, for underscore life. Okay. And then so they'll have them follow him. What would happen is his followers will increase even more, because now they're getting an incentive. If you share, if you use the hashtag, if you do this, then this enters you into a chance to win.
So can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
So it's kind of like one of those things, like you see on Facebook. Send this to all your friends. They're gonna give you a free Mac. That's what you see.
Oh no.
Well, I know. But what I'm saying is, I know it's not real, because from a tracking perspective, how do you even? So keep in mind, I have an IT background. So I'm running a contest. I put this out. Where am I getting the data? Where am I getting the names from? How do I know?
Not because they're going to use the hashtag. So usually you create a creative hashtag that no one's using, and believe me, there's still things out there they're not using. And there's also software that you can actually use to keep up and track.
So if you're saying who gives me the largest number of followers or whatever the conditions are, you have to know who it is.
Yes, definitely. And then we'll go into our Q&A.
Okay. Perfect.
All righty. Awesome. So the Instagram algorithm, there are 7 key factors that we're going to talk about. It's the engagement, relevancy, relationships, timeliness, the profile searches, direct shares, and the time spent. So as we go over these, it's not like we're going to be spending a whole bunch of time on it, because some of this stuff is pretty straightforward. And so like the engagement, how popular the post is. So how popular a post is, we'll go over that one, the relevancy, and et cetera, all 7 of them. So if you have questions during this time, feel free to ask, okay? So let's start with engagement, popularity. So look at this Nicki Minaj post here. She has 668,000 likes, over 32,000 comments. This is a pretty popular post, right? Engagement. I thought it was pretty clever to put the engagement right in there. But this is a pretty popular post.
She's not even engaged to him anymore.
So, huh?
She's not even engaged to him anymore, right?
Hey, put me in someone else's hand. You're your friend, you know.
You're right. Okay, but probably
So
not.
when we're talking about engagement, Instagram is looking at how many likes a post has. They're looking at the comments, the video views, the shares, the saves, the story views. You know how you can now do stories similar to Snapchat, live video views as well. So they're taking all of this into accountability whenever they're looking at the popularity of the post. And you'll notice whenever you post something on Instagram, like today I posted a picture and it said, oh, your post, this was yesterday actually, your post is doing 95% better than your other recent posts that you've posted.
Oh, wow.
So you can get your analytics, but in order to get that, you gotta have a business account. So all you do for that is just basically go into your settings and you'll say that you want to flip over your personal account for a business account.
Is there a cost?
There's no cost to it at all, no. They do it because they know they're going to get money whenever you buy ads. So just like with Facebook, you have a business page. So yeah.
So would you recommend my son pick up a business?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Okay. So let's talk about the relevancy. The relevancy is the genres that you've interacted with. So keep genres in mind because it's two different types of interaction, but this for relevancy is the one for genres. So Instagram actually mentioned whenever they first rolled out the new algorithm, this is what they said. The order of photos and videos in your feed will be based on the likelihood you'll be interested in the content, your relationship with the person posting, and timeliness of the post. So let's pay attention to what's in bold. The likelihood you'll be interested in the content. So who knows who's Instagram owned by?
Facebook?
Facebook, right. So Facebook is huge when it comes to relevancy. So when you think about it, Facebook only shows you what they feel that you're interested in. They go by the things you like, as we talked about engagement in number 1, because they're transferring all that over to Instagram. So they go by what you like, and that's why whenever you invite people to a business page and you're just like, oh, my friends aren't liking my stuff. They're not liking it because they don't want to, they're not seeing it.
Exactly.
Because if they're liking things that's like fights or things that are like people fighting versus liking items that's pertaining to small businesses, they're not going to see your posts. Because at the end of the day, this is a business and they want their clients, we are their clients. So they got to show us what we want to see.
So for example, on Facebook, you do a share and you say, I want to share public, right? And then it just goes out there. Are you saying that based on that share, your audience or your friends may or may not see it? If I do a share?
You can share it publicly, meaning you share it, you're saying you don't mind who actually sees it.
Right.
So they're going to only show it to people pertaining to whatever your post is talking about.
Okay.
They're going to only show it to those people.
Okay.
And another thing to kind of keep in mind, since we're kind of on this subject, I know they're going to transition this over to Instagram as well. When you put certain little words in there, and if it looks like you need to create an ad for it, like attend my event or things like that,
right,
you're going to notice your reach is going to be low. Because they're saying, oh, we're not going to give all this free advertising to you. So I'm sure that's going to be happening with Instagram. It's actually kind of happening already. All right. So how does IG actually know your interests? Who's familiar with the technology? You may be familiar with it. I'm sure you are too. The technology that's called photo recognition. So this is how Instagram actually knows what it is that you're looking at and interacting with. So you notice I said genres. So think of it like in music. You have pop, you have hip hop. So think of a genre in Instagram as small business, fitness, things like that, makeup. Those are type of genres that people are interested in when it comes to the relevancy. So they go by the photo recognition. They can even tell how long you're watching or looking at that photo.
You know what? That is amazing.
Yeah.
Think about all the power that's required behind that.
Oh yeah, a lot, definitely. Then we have the hashtags used. So they know your interests because of the hashtags that you're using. Again, think of genre as a fitness. So people say hashtag fitness, hashtag marketing, hashtag social media. So this is how Instagram knows the type of things that you're interested in. So if you know your clients like you should know, I always say have your clients' personas. If you know your clients like you should know, then you would know what hashtags you should be using. And for example, for me, if I'm posting something related to fitness, and I said, oh, I'm gonna do a class for people who own a fitness center, for example, I'll use certain hashtags for them because I really want to only focus on that particular niche, and so they'll show it to those particular people. Relationships. So let me go back to relevancy right quick. Here we talk about the genres that you've interacted with. Here for relationships, we're talking about the accounts that you've interacted with. So the accounts, you think of an account as a person. You know, you have Legs for Life, Keisha Speaks, Digi Sisters, Beyonce, those all are accounts. So the second announcement that they made, he said, and no matter how many accounts you follow, you should see your best friend's latest posts. Yeah.
How do you know? How do I know you're my best friend?
I know, that's what I was like, what are you talking about?
Right.
How do you know? Past interactions
With that person.
So the new algorithm actually, it goes back and pull interactions that you've made with that person in the past. It's like the content that you've liked. So this is part of the past interactions. People that you direct message in the past, as you see still.
Is that why they're really pressing upon Messenger? You think?
What is it?
What I mean by that is basically now, I mean, they want everybody to be on Messenger. Before, you didn't have to be on Messenger. Now they're trying to get it.
Well, they want everyone on Messenger because you can now actually do ads in Messenger. Exactly.
Oh, okay.
So because Facebook, you know, I'm kind of going back and forth between Facebook and Instagram, but the conversation is still relevant. Because what's happening is you're going to see this in Instagram too, okay? So Facebook is actually, like you were saying with the Messenger there, you're seeing the ads in the Messenger, and a lot of times, not a lot of times, but what's happening is their shareholders know that they're running out of ad space.
Right.
So by them being able to come into your inbox now, it expands the ad space a little bigger.
Okay.
So, and then the people that you know in real life. And the people that you know in real life, they're really just using like the keywords. Like if I'm talking about, oh, my sister did this yesterday and I tag her in that, they're following all of that. The algorithm is following all of that.
Wow.
Yes. So the timeliness is how recent the posts are. Sounds pretty self-explanatory, right? So the key ingredient, as suggested by Instagram, they said the order of photos and videos in your feed will be based on the likelihood you'll be interested in the content, your relationship with the person posting, and the timeliness of the post. So the timeliness of the post, we're just talking about things that were posted recently, but still remember, they're taking everything that we just went over, the engagement, the relevancy, I know, all of that is still being taken into consideration, which is why you kind of know now why you're only seeing 50 posts or maybe 20 posts whenever you wake up the next morning. We did a little study on that too.
Oh, did you?
I did, yes. And also the time that you're actually posting. So
does that make a difference?
It does.
What's the best time?
Good question. The best time depends on your profile. How do you find that out? If you have a business account, and I will actually show you here on my Instagram account. So for those of you who's actually listening to this, I'm actually just showing the difference in having a business account versus a profile. So in the upper left-hand corner, if you open up your Instagram app, there's like a icon that looks 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like it has like 4 lines and they're all different heights. That's your analytics. So if you actually click on that, it'll show you, oh, Lakeisha, how many impressions you've gotten, how many percentage of men are following you versus women, the age and everything.
Wow.
So if we say we want to see more, and that's under the followers section, you'll scroll all the way down to the bottom and you see where it says Saturdays. It's telling me what time my people are online.
Oh my gosh.
So I suggest on Instagram.
That's incredible.
It is. If you can post 3 times a day, look and see the 3 most popular times in your analytics that I just told you about, look for the 3 most popular times that you should actually be posting.
So, but as an individual, you don't have those type of analytics.
As an individual, you don't have those type of analytics,
Okay.
which is why
So
it's
that's the
the
first thing
same
you
thing
see.
with Facebook, going back to them. Your profile, you don't have any type of insights or analytics on your Facebook profile, but on your business you do. So, there you go. And for those of you who are listening, there would be actually a separate video with me going through that step by step, showing you how to do your analytics and also how to change your personal to an actual business. Okay?
Okay.
Profile searches. So the accounts that you actually check often. So this is an example of how it pretty much looks when you're searching. And so basically this keeps people from searching for content that they're interested in. What they basically do is say, hey, whenever you actually go here, it'll automatically bring up whatever it is that you're interested in or searching for. And I've actually followed a lot of people using this because sometimes, a lot of times actually, I don't feel like going through my news feed and, I may see what people and I see what they're saying and I like them, but for the most part, when I'm looking for people in my industry, it's kind of hard, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to look for certain things. So whenever you're actually searching and doing a profile search, you're actually able to find things that you're interested in. But this helps with your account because now you're helping Instagram learn what you're interested in, so you can start pulling those news feeds. So if you own a business, think of this as a way, again, do you know your audience? Because when they search for these items, then you should be pulling up in these news feeds as well. That way you're getting more eyes on your actual account and people can follow you. Okay? So the direct shares is basically whose posts you are sharing. And this kind of go back to, ties into the engagement. And so this is the direct share right here. I get this a lot from my sister. She's always sharing something that's direct.
This is Instagram, right?
This is Instagram,
right.
Yes.
Okay.
So basically, this means that you're interested. So be careful with what you're sharing to people directly because it actually will change your algorithm.
Wow.
I know, it's a lot.
Wait.
Because when you do a direct share, it also shows that you care. So that means you're interested in it and that you care about it. So to them, oh, we should show Lakeisha more of this. Like I like to go to this one video, this guy Blame It on Quay.
I haven't seen it.
So he is huge. He has like, I think like 3 million followers or something like that. A lot of followers. He's funny. He's at like the BET Awards. He's a guy, but he dressed like a girl, but he's super funny. And I do that's kind of like my 10%. So they did this little thing. They got, what was it? The Monica So Gone Challenge.
The what?
Oh,
Monica. Yeah.
So he did one, and I'm telling you, that was my favorite one. To this day, I'll go there just to look for that video and watch it. So sometimes what I notice, whenever I do that, I will start getting other stuff. Yeah. Then I'm like, dang,
Similar.
I want to see that.
Yeah.
I only want to see his. So then I'll stay away for a few months, and then my whole small business, family will start coming back to fruition. Okay. And it's weird because he's the only person that I'm doing this with. However, he has 3 million followers. Right. So it's kind of like, okay, you're interested in this person. They have a lot of followers, so you must be interested in this type of content. Right. So they really. Sometimes I always say, sometimes they don't even know what it is that I like because I'm just there like once. Can you monitor how often I'm looking at it? Right. So, but anyway, so when you're doing a direct share though, they just see that you're interested in it and you care about that particular topic. So moving to the time spent is the duration it took viewing a post, which we briefly discussed. And so what Instagram had to say about that, based on the fact that you don't scroll or didn't scroll past a post that was on your screen for more than other posts that were in your news feeds, then they feel that it's something that you're actually interested in, and they'll start surfacing more posts like that higher up in your news feeds in the future. So it depends on how much time you actually spent on that post. And so that goes back to what I was talking about blaming on Clay. I will watch that video. I'm like, where am I watching it again? I'll watch it again. I'm like, oh, do I have the words right? Let me make sure. Like, I will watch that video over and over. So I spend a lot of time on that.
Yeah.
Oh, and he has another one on there too I like. But anyway, so the time that you spent, the duration that it takes to view the post. So now that you
Who
guys...
would think that you would get to such a sophisticated level of really analyzing at the individual level? That is
customization, personalization.
That is, I'm not surprised.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I started my IT career in 1977, so I've seen it just from the very beginning, just about. But it's just amazing to the degree of detail and in the protocol.
Yeah. I used to, my last corporate company I worked for was Marriott.
I know, you shared that.
Right? And we were so, like, we had to, when I said personalization, I kind of wish, sometimes like, I wish I could be a fly on the wall to see how much it's grown now. Mm-hmm. Because while I was there would be certain things, you know, from where they visited, it could be a year ago, and now it's and we know it's your anniversary again. Do you want to go back to this hotel? That type of thing. People love that though. Mm-hmm. They love it.
Oh, I just stayed actually down in San Diego. I went down, my cousins were here from the East Coast, and I went and I stayed at a Hilton. And Hilton, I got obviously the thank you email. I got a postcard from the owner because I think this is a franchise site. Mm-hmm. Then I got another email saying thank you, and I know you enjoyed your stay, blah blah blah. And I was just like, wow, to the degree of I'm one of out how many.
Mm-hmm. A lot.
It just
it makes you feel like they're talking directly to you, which they are.
Right.
And so
I'm trying to keep it in the family, but this is interesting. But go ahead.
Okay. So now this brings us to the magnet formulas, and this is a formula that we use for our agency clients. So we'll share this with you all.
Okay.
So the first one is the basic magnet formula, then I'll go into the advanced one. And it's simple. In order to get followers, you just follow them, you like something that they've posted, and you comment. Voila.
Okay.
A lot of people, they love to follow the hashtag FF, you know, like they'll have like the Follow Fridays. That's actually still in existence, believe it or not, on Instagram, also on Twitter. Mm-hmm. But then the hashtag follow back, those type of things, they'll follow you back. Now, I call this the basic magnet because it's not targeted. Mm-hmm. So you'll have followers following you from all over. So if you're just on Instagram, this goes back to the monetization as well. If you're just on Instagram just to get followers, just to say, oh, I got all these people following me.
Right.
But the basic formula for you is actually good because the advanced formula is a little more involved. Not a lot more involved, but you do have to do some work with the advanced formula. And it's very similar to the basic one. But the difference is this, you're going to follow that person, right, that you like.
Yep.
But you also want to have a list of the people that you follow. So let's say you say, you know what, I'm going to follow 20 people that's in my industry or 20 people that I want to target. You're going to follow them, but you're going to list those people. You list them, put them in your phone and save it. That way you have access to them wherever you are. Like right now, I'm here at a meeting. Once I'm done, if I want to say, oh, let me go and follow, see what this person is saying so I can like their comment.
And so you're saying put it in your phone. What do you
put
mean?
it in your phone, meaning save it in like your notes or save it in
their hashtag?
Some of their actual account name.
Oh, okay.
So if someone said, oh, Lakeisha Speaks is someone that I want to follow, then they'll follow me, put my name on your list, save it.
Because that's a lead.
Right. Because you're basically saying, I'm going to massage this particular person, this particular lead. Exactly. It's like a drip. Perfect. There you go, drip. And you're going to comment and like. So you're still commenting and liking and following, but the difference is you're going to create this list and you're going to save that list because now you have 20, you can have 50 people, whatever it is that you can handle or feel comfortable with, that you're actually going to go and you're going to engage with them. You're not just saying, oh, I'm going to follow, you're using the basic formula, just following anybody. Right. You want to follow people that you say, hey, this could be a potential lead. That's how I actually, you know, Shark Tank, I'm sure everyone is familiar with Shark Tank. There's a gentleman, he's on Twitter, and he does these panels. So every person that wins on Shark Tank to do a deal, once the deal is completed, he does an interview with them, he has them on their panel, all that great stuff. So I saw that, and he wrote a book about it. And so I put him on my list. In Twitter, you actually can put someone on a list, on actual Twitter. You don't have to save it in your phone. But I put him on my Twitter list, and basically I massaged the relationship without him knowing I was massaging the relationship. And so he ended up saying, oh, I want you to come and be a part of this. He's going to be in San Diego, and I want you to be a part of the panel. You can ask questions and all of that. So we're in the same industry, but we're going to collaborate on a project together because I wanted to create a relationship with him. The same as me doing speaking engagements. You create a list of people that you want. I did this on Facebook too. So this is not only just for Instagram per se. You can use this across the board for social media.
Wow.
So I wanted to get my speaking engagement on, or whatever you call it, get paid for it. So that's how I connected with Latanya Washington for the list tour. I ended up getting every state that she was going to actually be in, which was this year, to speak on her platform. The same thing I did with Black Business Women Rock with Natalie, So this is a formula that doesn't just work for Instagram, it works for all the platforms. So you just go ahead and you massage those relationships, but make sure it's relationships with people who have some type of, database, some type of clout, who can get you to your next step, inside the next door you're trying to get in. Because having a lot of followers is great, but you're not making any money from it. Hey, I only got 3,200 followers on Instagram, but I'm still making money from it, versus someone who has come to me with 100,000, they're not making $1.
Right.
So imagine if I had 100,000 followers, what I'd be doing.
Right.
Okay.
Wow.
So this is just a little magnet formula that you guys can use. All right. Any questions before we go into creating a picture perfect post?
Nope.
Okay. Awesome. So creating a picture perfect post. This is my little secret to creating a clear, no matter how you look. I'm telling you, these apps, they work wonders. And I'm going to show how they work on my phone. And for those of you who are listening and watching the presentation, I will also have a little side note over in the notes section, part of the resources, where you guys can actually click on that video and watch me showcase how to actually create a picture perfect post as well. So we have, first of all, I want you to download these apps. One is YouCam Perfect, and YouCam Perfect, this is how the icon looks. So whenever you go and search for it in Apple, you can look for that. Then we have VSCO, and honestly, I don't know if they want me to pronounce it Vasco or just VSCO, but the app looks just like that. It's inside of the box, and it's a circle. Then you have the Layer app. So the purpose of the YouCam Perfect app is basically, when you take a picture and you want to change the filter of the picture, and then you go through and you can smooth out your face to make sure you don't have any bumps or anything of that nature. And you also can make yourself smaller if you want to.
Oh, wow.
It gets deep. You can make yourself smaller. You can make your neck look smaller. There's so many things that you could do with this. Now, if you're using it for you to get smaller, I say make sure you're working out, because when people see you in person, I'm just saying, when they see you in real life, they're going to see the difference. No, I'm just kidding. But it is something that they have a lot of tools. They also have another app that they can put makeup on you.
Wow.
Yes.
So YouCam Perfect, is that your preference?
Yes, that's my preference. You can also do videos. So the thing is this, you can take a picture and also record a video within the app. If you want to just edit a photo, you're able to pull the photo from your actual camera and edit that photo. You can't edit a video though. You can only record the video within the app.
Yeah.
And while you're recording, you're going to see even while you're recording, you're like, oh, I look a little different on here. It's kind of scary how advanced technology can be.
Wow.
And so then with the Vasco VSCO, the purpose of that is more so for you to start creating a filtered looking theme. Okay. You know how you go to some people's Instagram and you'll see them have this, it's just either a colorful theme or they may have like a vintage looking theme, but it's a theme automatically because of the look and feel. And I'll show you guys some examples of that later. And then with the Later app, you're actually able to schedule. However, it's not the type of scheduling that you guys are thinking. Right now, Facebook does not allow you to schedule automatically on Instagram. So when you're using things like Buffer or if you're using Hootsuite, you still can't schedule automatically with any of those. However, later, you can actually just go ahead and have all your Instagram postings. I'll go ahead and facilitate them, put them together, and they'll remind you. You'll get a pop-up that say, hey, you need to schedule on Instagram. It also will help you with your time use as well. When they're saying timeliness and when you're posting, so they'll help you with that. That's the not the app version of it, the online web application version will show you the best time to post. They'll just pull from your particular profile. So and the other thing with later, on Instagram you can't hit enter. You can't have the spaces, but you see how some posts have spaces in between them. You're like, how do I do that? You can do that on later. And a lot of influencers actually uses this app, and they use the VSCO as well. Okay, so I want to show you a little of the themes that I was talking about when I mentioned VSCO here. So in one of them here, you see this young lady, they have like the browns and the blacks, going on as far as their theme. Then you have the black and white modish looking theme here. He's more, what type of thing you guys would say this is?
Tropical, kind of. Yeah.
Exactly. Those beautiful colors. Then you have a kind of the earthy, brown, vintage to me too, a little bit of browns and then let's see. And they're very, very calculated about where they're taking their pictures, their photos. So with the Vasco one that I told you guys about, you can actually choose a filter. That way, even though you're not in all these little locations like they're in, you can at least have that same filter over all the pictures until we can get advanced as them. And this is just another one here. Makeup. And again, this is just like a colorful one. Okay.
Yeah, that makeup thing is very powerful right now. It has taken over.
Oh, makeup? Oh, yes. The YouTube videos and
everything. You're like, it's a science. Like,
it is.
How long did it take you to, like 40 minutes later?
Yeah.
But the face looks good, but oh my gosh.
It's a transformation.
It is.
I have a client in Sherman Oaks, Makeup by Marines on Instagram. She has almost 60,000 followers. And if you see before and after pictures, it is just like night and day. It's amazing. So I'm like, ooh. With me, I'm like, I kind of want to look the same. I don't want to get used to looking like the makeup. I don't want to take it off now. Sleep in it. Tattoo it on my face. So now we're going to go into how you're going to create a strong hashtag game. So with hashtags, how many of you are on Instagram here?
I'm not on Instagram. I think I might be on this. I might be, but I don't use it.
Okay. Yeah, but well, you said you might be. Oh, you might be, but you don't actually use it.
I don't use it.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. Well, the hashtag game first actually started with what social media platform?
Facebook?
Nope.
No.
Who's the mother of hashtags?
Twitter?
Twitter.
Yeah.
And but Instagram is kind of taking over. But hashtags is still super important on Twitter as well. But they are the mother.
Can I ask just a basic question? So what's the difference between Twitter and Instagram?
Okay. Is it?
Instagram has more pictures, right?
Yeah, they do. So I always
Instagram has more pictures?
Yeah, definitely. Oh, definitely. It's definitely more pictures.
Okay.
And then I always have, I gotta say my little thought process behind these social media platforms. Like you were saying, Instagram is more pictures, and it's also whenever you post on a social media platform, you can't post the same thing across the board. I see people do that all the time. They'll post whatever they post on Instagram, they'll post it on Twitter. You can do that sometimes. I even do it sometimes, but it just depends on what it is. Like Jasandra said, Instagram, they're pictures. Therefore, Twitter is more so your 40 characters. You got to say everything you need to say in those 40 characters.
They're supposed to be increasing, rumor has it.
Yeah, rumor has it, yeah. So we'll see if they increase it or not. That'd be interesting.
And they're talking about doubling Facebook too. I mean, no, Twitter.
Twitter,
Yeah.
the 280. So Twitter is, so Twitter, when you go on Instagram, that's all you see is pictures. On Twitter, you see text, and they're more focused, I feel, on text. So lately I noticed, you know how a lot of people share their stuff on Instagram, even though I don't agree with that all the time, because you still got to click on the link to see the picture. So if you share something, a picture or whatever on Instagram,
Mhm.
Twitter will bring it up as a link, and you click on it and actually go to Instagram to see it.
Mhm.
So it's kind of like, I'm not gonna just post it there.
Well, because they're not investing. So I'm not going to invest in that.
They're not what?
The storage of that information.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go. Exactly. Create a strong hashtag game.
Okay.
Alrighty. So these are just examples of some hashtags that I grabbed that people post that are popular actually.
But where do they go?
What do you mean where do they go? The hashtags?
I think I don't understand the hashtag game.
Okay. This is it. Hashtags, they were created originally to organize content.
Okay.
So let's say if I said hashtag social media, when I click on social media, hashtag social media, I'm going to see a collective of content that everybody is posting, whoever put the hashtag social media in there, whether I'm following them or not.
Okay.
So it's a way for you to increase your followers.
Okay, so it's really, it's like the gathering place. I'm just trying to look at it in a certain way. So if I say hashtag fun, then anybody, all three of us could be looking at two totally different things, but if we follow hashtag fun, we're going to get that.
Exactly.
Okay, all right.
Yep. Great way to gain new followers. So to create a hashtag game, which hashtags does your audience uses frequently?
Throwback Thursday.
Okay. Throwback Thursday is a huge one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you got your Man Crush Mondays, your Woman Crush Wednesday, and all of those, hashtag WCW or hashtag MCM.
I'm not following any of that stuff. I'm
Yeah,
like totally out the loop. I'm in the dark.
It's,
I'm in the dark.
it's okay.
It's a good thing. It's almost a good thing.
But yeah, well, it depends on your objectives and what
Exactly.
you
Thank you. What are your objectives?
What are your objectives? And I always tell people you don't have to be on every single social media platform. You just be on the platform that your audience is on.
Yeah.
Right.
So like I was saying, which hashtags does your audience uses frequently? When you find that information out, what happens is it exposes your brand more, it attracts new followers, increases your engagement, and you'll actually get more likes. So that's pretty much the purpose for your hashtags. And I did, and just an example yesterday, when I posted and I used a new hashtag, I had new people visiting my page, and a few of them actually started following. So I think I went from I think it was 7 new people, 3207 to 3214 or something like that. And this was just for me, doing one post. So hashtags works. And then with later, the tool that I showed you guys earlier, this is also a great tool for reposting. So this is the little other key. So the people that I told you guys to follow, you list them and you save them, and you're liking their comment and you're commenting on their comments or their posts. It's another great thing to do is you can repost things that they've posted. So this helps because a lot of times this is what
is that like share?
Yeah, you basically share it, but they call it repost because you're just reposting on your actual platform, on your post, as opposed to your own. But it'll show that it's pulling from their account. And what happens is they'll get an alert, and when they see that, they're like, oh, let me see who's, giving me this shout out by reposting. And if they like what they see when they visit your page, then they'll also start following.
So you encourage the students to reach out to that person and thanks for the repost or thanks for the share or
the person that you're reposting should be an influencer already. So they'll usually with influencers, if you're reposting, sometimes they'll give you a shout out. Depending on who the influencer is, so sometimes they won't say nothing, they're just like, I got a lot of followers and they need me type thing. And that may be true because guess what? Their followers will see that you're reposting and then they'll come out and check your page out and they'll start following you too. So
influencer, what does that mean?
What is what?
Influencer, is that driven by a number of people or is that by what?
An influencer, think of it as a person who's in a niche. And I'm gonna just continue to use your son for example, since we're looking over his account.
All right.
His niche is dance. That's obvious, So he has over 14,000 followers. He is considered an influencer because he has a lot of followers, he has the engagement, and he is constantly posting.
Yes.
And he has a niche that he's posting about.
Yeah, okay.
So whenever a company, once he gets with the right agency, because they have the influencer agency, it's like he's an influencer, but he doesn't know it.
Yes.
So when you get with the right agency, they come and they say, oh yeah, my clients will love this. So let's say they'll send his bio or his account over to their clients, and then the clients will choose whether or not they want to utilize it.
Oh my gosh, we have to do this.
Yeah.
We
So
have to
that's pretty much an influencer, because
I mean, what I'm trying to do, I don't want to have that recorded.
yeah. So the thing is, what they're looking for is someone who's not a celebrity. So let me make that clear.
Yes.
And a celebrity is a celebrity, an influencer is an influencer.
Yes.
So what studies have found, influencers actually creates more brand awareness than a celebrity does. Because people automatically assume they're getting paid for this. With an influencer, even though they're getting paid, people can see themselves in that person's shoes, for example.
Yes.
You know, like with him, they'll make, honestly, not making this up, once you get to a certain bracket, they'll have ballet shoes made after with his name on them.
That's what, yeah, he told me the two companies have contacted him. But that's what I'm saying. That's the beauty of this conversation today and this training, because it's giving me education and information that I can then leverage and be able to ask the right question. Because before, Instagram what? I mean, now I have a little bit more understanding.
Yes. And how old is he?
My son's 25.
Oh my gosh. Millennial, they love them. Oh wow, that is, yeah. We gotta talk. So, but then the next thing, when you create a strong hashtag game, just remember hashtags that has like an active and involved community. What do I mean by that? An example. Mornings like these. So they share their morning rituals. So hashtag morning like these. Let's say you're waking up, you may take a picture of your cup of coffee and just be like, hashtag morning like these, I need my cup of Joe. Something stupid simple. The thing is, this hashtag actually is involved around the community. And that actually would get you more followers because they see that you exist.
And who's the community?
The community is morning like these.
Okay.
Anyone who's posting about their morning.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, some hashtags actually have a community. All righty. So we're gonna go. Any questions about I can't even remember off the top here, about the hashtag game?
No.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you.
So we're gonna move on to getting on the IG Explorer page. Just showing pictures of how it looks here. So the way you get on this Instagram Explorer page, create ultra engaging, super targeted content. Again, going back to Legs for Life, his content is super targeted. You know exactly what it is. So that, along with it being engaging because the photos are just phenomenal, that helps a lot. Now, the better your stories are and the more they speak to a specific audience, because he do stories.
What type of stories are we talking about?
So on Instagram, are you familiar with Snapchat or not really?
No, not at all.
So on Instagram, guys, you're actually able to create a story. So let's say I go to the Instagram page, legs_for_life with a Y. Oh, like LYFE. F-E. Get that clear. Okay, we got two legs, not one. The legs for life.
F4, the number 4.
Just the number 4. All righty, well, goodness. And what? And LYFE. So it's legs_ the number 4_ life. LYFE. Okay, search. Here it goes. So if I go in here, because I'm almost forgetting what I was looking for now since I couldn't.
You were asking about stories.
But with the stories, over here in the top corner with his picture.
Yes.
So everyone else, please listen up who's actually watching the training. Where your picture is, or an account that you're looking at, wherever their picture is, when you click on it and something pops up, that's a story.
Oh,
so
wow.
he's not doing stories.
Okay.
So he definitely needs to be doing some type of story. And so let's cancel this out, and I'm gonna go to my account.
Yeah, go to yours.
And you
Okay.
see how I have the
Yes.
plus icon
Yes.
there? And so when people click on it, they'll see a story. Well, I can't see it because I'm the person that's doing the story. But whenever you click on the purse icon, you can tell the people if you want to go live or
Oh.
just be normal
Uh-huh.
or boomerang. So we can just start like a live chat
Okay.
right now.
Okay.
Like you can go live on Facebook.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So he could be doing stories about, because they're in their season now. So he was in Dayton last week. Today or somewhere, I think they're going someplace else. So he could literally be saying, "Hey, we're on tour. Come tour with us."
Oh yeah, definitely. Something as simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
So the higher the chance, so it's basically the more that, the better your stories are and the more they speak to a specific audience, the higher the chance that Instagram will add your account to the recommended stories at the top of the Explore tab.
Okay. And so this is the IG. This is their tab.
This is IG. Yep.
Okay.
You see how
And
they
they're
got
saying
those at the
videos you may
top?
like. Yes.
Exactly. These are stories.
Okay. And is that based on the evaluation of things that you like,
Again,
or
yes.
is it just in general?
No, it is. It's based on the things that you like. So let's say since he loves dance, if he wants to get in front of other people who love dance, creating a story with that niche is going to show up for those people. It's
Okay.
still personalized.
All right.
Just like here on mine here. So if I say, oh, let me just click on this person here. It's scrolling around. But usually a pop-up, as you see it says live, that means that person is actually live right now.
Okay.
So they'll go to their live video. For some reason, I think it's the internet connection is kind of slow.
Okay. All right.
But you see the purpose of what I'm saying. So I want you guys to keep these percentages in mind. Think about it. People remember 20% of what they hear, 30% of what they see, and they actually remember 70% of what they see and hear.
Wow.
So with that being said, that just means that video is the bomb diggy, okay? That probably sounds so old school, huh? Bomb diggy. So remember those little statistics there. Now, time to run this contest. So after you guys have put all this work into Instagram, and I'm telling you, it will be worth it. I know people who started last year, and they are killing it this year. And I know some people, it takes 6 months. It's just about how much energy and how much time you're going to put into it. And these days, you can put anything on Instagram or on social media. But when I say anything, let me make this clear. Anything that is, it depends on your objective as well. Now, I see some people who put certain photos on there because they want to capture certain people's attention. And then we have some people like myself, who's a business person, that want to capture certain people's attention. But after all of this is done, and you want to actually run a contest, you basically run your contest to get even more followers. Because now these people, they trust you. It's kind of like you're their leader, they're part of your tribe. Now you're saying, hey, thank you guys for following me. If you can give me more followers, then you can enter into this contest. I'm doing this out of the kindness of my heart. You'll get a contest, you may win a 2-night stay in New York or LA, someplace that people want to visit, maybe they never got to visit. You're not paying for the plane ticket unless you want to, but that's just like just a simple type of contest that I'm naming, but there's hundreds of contests that you actually can have. Yes.
Question, how many followers does your Instagram account have to have in order to think about, it's time to do a contest? Does it matter? Can you be a brand newbie? Can you be a newbie and do a contest, or should you have a few followers before you enter that?
You can have 1 follower and do a contest. Is it a smart decision? No. So it's more so, I would say, I would wait until not just followers, but I would wait till I get to a point where I can say, okay, I got this many followers and this is how much engagement I'm getting. Because the thing about running a contest, you got to make sure people are engaging with your post so they actually see your post to know to tell other people to, actually participate in the contest. If it's low, if your engagement rate is lower than 6%, then I would say do not run a contest. Because I know people, and I tell this little story a lot. There was a client that we had, and he wanted this guy who had 1 million followers to promote his mail brand. And I was like, that's not a good idea because his engagement, he has 1 million followers, but the engagement is terrible. He still wanted to do it. I think he got 1 sale. Now we went with another person for this same client. they had about 10,000 followers. Their engagement was about 30%. He got a whole bunch of sales. So whenever you're running a contest, it doesn't only go by the followers, you got to see what the engagement is too. Because you can have, let's say you got 1,000 followers and you say, you know what? Wow, I got 20% engagement. So if I actually post this and run a contest, that 1,000 followers actually may double because of that contest, because of your engagement as well.
So I have a question. So from a strategic perspective, right? So one, obviously looking at this, is the idea just to have, someone could say, I just want to have a lot of followers. Well, what does that do for you? But if I was looking at this from a business perspective of wanting to expand and build my following with good followers, getting what you're talking about, the high percentage of engagement, is the strategy that I would run a contest to do that. The end goal is to build my following so that I can build monetization, or is that what my direction should be?
So your end goal with anything you're doing online should be to make money, So with the example that you just gave, your end goal first is brand awareness. So you're creating brand awareness by following all the steps we went over. So then you're going more into the advanced brand awareness of using your tribe to work for you almost. So you can continue to increase your followers. When you get to that point, then you're at the point where people are buying from you, the person who is the brand. And so one thing I say all the time is people buy from people, not businesses. So by you putting yourself out there, people liking your personality and what it is that you do, they'll be like, oh yeah, I don't mind sharing their contest, because I love this person. And they're going to potentially enter me into this thing to win a hotel stay or whatever. They'll do it for you. At that point, you've created a brand.
So this would be even more so why you need to protect your brand. And you need to be very cautious with the content.
That
you need to be aware, you need to create awareness within yourself that everything doesn't go. So you need to just have created some boundaries for yourself in terms of what you put on that particular Facebook page or Instagram page or Twitter page, with words you put out.
And it all goes back to objectives. Some people are posting pictures because you'll see, just to be transparent, you'll see young ladies posting pictures of half naked. Now, I'm going to tell you this, if they're trying to get the attention of a strip club, if they're trying to get the attention of some type of porno type thing industry, that's good for them. If they want to make that type of money. Awesome.
Right.
If you're more on the business side, like most of us here are, all of us, I'm not most, all of us, like we are, then of course, our Instagram will look totally different.
Okay.
So it just depends on the objective. Now, if you want to be an influencer, I'm gonna tell you now, the people that's paying the money, you want to have something that looks very professional and what's a good word for it? Like clean.
Yeah, right.
Marketable.
I think the word is marketable.
It has to be family friendly.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so keep that in mind.
All right.
Alrighty. So one thing that you can actually do when you're running a contest, if you're just starting out, but still showing that you got to show this influencer that you're working hard too, you can partner with another business or another influencer. And I talked about blaming on Quay because he does that very well. Oh my gosh, it's just certain people on Instagram, they use this first strategy right here. It's just phenomenal. So partner with another business or influencer and run the contest together. That way, if you're a small business and you're like, I'm not trying to put all that money, you can actually just split it, and then you guys come up with a strategy how both of you actually would benefit from it.
You also can do, you can partner up with influencers to even do an e-com store and split the money. You do all the work, you set up depending on what the influencer is and what they attract in terms of subject matter that would like to buy whatever you decide to put in that store.
Yes.
You do all the setup and everything, the Shopify store, whatever. Yeah. And then you could give them a percentage of the sales. I've tried that strategy before, it works. Because they're not doing nothing. They're making money off of, you benefiting off the traffic, and they haven't done a thing.
Right.
Just another income stream for them, and they're not changing one iota of the things they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. So Jasandra was just saying, for those of you, in case you didn't hear, that are watching here, basically, let's say you have an e-commerce store, and I'm just going to continue using Legs for Life as an example. So if you have an e-commerce store that's selling ballet items, for example, and you partner up with Legs for Life, then he would get a percentage of that because he's an influencer. Therefore, you'll get the rest of the sales money, but you will give him money. And she's tried that strategy and has utilized it successfully, which means she's going to be doing a class about it, a workshop.
That's right.
So when you partner, you want to look for a cool partner, similar to what Jasandra just said. When cool in this way just means somebody where it makes sense.
Synergy. There's
Synergy. There you go. Synergy. So you can organize like a 3 to 5 day giveaway. And these are just like some little examples. A 2-night stay at a hotel, which I've been using throughout for a particular contest. Go back, sorry. And then one thing I don't have on here, because this would definitely be a totally different class, is utilizing the type of software that you would need to track it.
Yeah.
So that, my friend, is a total different class by itself, only because there's a lot that's involved with it to set it up correctly, because it can go wrong. So having the right tool to actually run, and having the right tool to actually run this type of contest is critical. I've seen people try to do this, and it does not end well.
And for all of our DigiPower members, I am testing a company that has 2-night stays, just real different ones from all over that you can utilize for contests and promotions.
That's right. So we have, so we'll have that coming to them on the DigiPower platform too. And kind of to go back to when you partner with an influencer, let me make this clear too, because the same young lady who became a client that had 100,000 followers on Instagram, she actually, what's the name of the show? I can't think of the name of the show off the top of my head, but she partnered with this show that was on BET, and so she sells lingerie. And they was like, oh, okay, yeah, we want, they wanted the lingerie, so she sent it to them, and nothing happened. Like, they never did anything with it. It was on the show, but we didn't know it was hers because they never gave her a shout out.
Wow.
So making it very clear what your expectations are is super important. Even if you're an influencer partner with another influencer, you want to make sure it's super clear what it is that you're expecting, and you want to know what you're expecting to make sure that each person sticks to it and sign off on an agreement.
So would this be something like, for example, Kevin Hart wore a Black Don't Crack t-shirt on that show. Should he as well have done an Instagram post?
Did you guys make an agreement?
He didn't respond back?
I don't know. I'm just talking. I'm just talking because I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But that would be the agreement. You would put
Right.
something.
Right. It would be an Instagram post. You may even say they want to do Facebook, whatever their reach is. Because I know oh my gosh, he has a lot of reach on Facebook too. So whatever you guys decide on, yes.
Okay.
All right. Exactly.
Okay.
So we have
another suggestion which I wanted to share with Deborah is that what she should do with him and the different celebrities she had, like Shanice, all these different people, find out what charity that they have that could be a favorite charity, and say, hey, you'll donate a portion of the sales from our collaboration to your favorite charity. That's an impactful giving technique that she can. Good, I've been wanting to talk to her about that because I know she has a lot of celebrities that wear her shirt.
And then, kind of like what they do on Family Feud with Steve Harvey, when the celebrities come on, they'll give the percentage to their charity. So that's an awesome idea.
I think she wants to do that. I think that's part of.
I know I mentioned to her when she came.
We were tying that into the Kickstarter. So I think so. What happens is she gets all these different ideas about different stuff, and so she doesn't have time to sit down it's a side conversation to really strategize and to really build a plan. Yeah.
So at this time, if you guys have any questions, that brings us to the end of this training.
That was awesome.
Feel free to ask away.